All right, so today we're going to dive into iTrustCapital and how you can invest in the metaverse now with your crypto IRA. I'm going to dive in deep on that. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechPath. When you look at crypto IRAs, one of the things that I do, and that is go with the tried and true, and that is iTrustCapital. One of the reasons they are a partner of the show, but when I look at iTrust, when we looked at getting them as a partner, we were looking at a variety of different investment platforms in this area of crypto IRAs, and they were the ones we picked. They're the ones we love. And if you look at what they're doing, just here in this news article, crypto IRA iTrustCapital raises $125 million, pushes their valuation now over $1 billion. So this is not one of those projects out there that's kind of what I see out there that maybe are not as credible. I won't name names, but the point is there's a lot of projects out there when you look at crypto IRAs in general that do not necessarily meet all these high standards. And there's a lot to that other than just being out there getting money and getting your valuation built up. A lot of this goes into the security of how they're handling your assets, also the number of assets that you can really get into. And the thing that really interests me the most, especially on this topic, is how can you get into metaverse? Because this is one of the things that we're finding more and more in some of these, I won't call them, ETF style approaches, but if you look at going out and trying to build a portfolio, one of the things you want to do is have some flexibility and a little bit of discovery and the opportunity. Now, sometimes people will say, hey, Paul, this is my IRA. I want to be able to look at long term. So what I look at in terms of long term investments is I'll go with some of the bigger projects, but start to spread that out in the portfolio and look for some diversification. So some examples that I want to show you are this one right here, and that is the array of tokens that are now available on iTrustCapital. A lot of new tokens have hit the chart with iTrust, and one of the big ones that is getting ready to come on per their Twitter account is Axie Infinity, which I think is just another gaming project that will be over the top in the coming years. Definitely a long-term play if you've understood and looked at what Sky Mavis is doing. If you haven't checked it out, make sure and watch our video on Sky Mavis, because that interview really dives in deep on Axie Infinity and the future of what play and earn gaming is going to be. So when I'm looking at portfolios right now, whether I'm building in an IRA like with iTrust, or whether I'm building a portfolio just in general on one of the exchanges or maybe even in a wallet, I want to look at diversification. And what does that diversification look like in terms of projects? I want just to run down through some of these projects here on the first line. You've got projects in there like Cardano, Engine, Algorand, Cosmos, Tezos. All of those I would definitely go with. You've got Curve coming in if you want to get into DeFi. Aave, same thing. Matic, of course, a very, very good project that I think is going to be here a long term. Then some of the swap projects like Sushi, over here on Uniswap, which I still think is a potential hero for what we will see in the swap sectors. Then you've got even Dogecoin if you're into meme. Now, I would not necessarily recommend going into meme coins right now, but I'm looking at what kind of projects I might be going into. And a lot of these are really getting into my top 10 assets that I hold in a lot of different portfolios. So what I decided to do today was break out an iTrustCapital portfolio and show a mix of how to build into the metaverse. Now, there's a handful in here that I think are missing, and I'm hoping that we can get iTrust to maybe continue to amp up their whole approach toward getting more and more tokens. But the ones that I'm looking at to really kind of keep and hold for long term, and I just want to show you a portfolio that is really a mix of traditional coins from just general crypto investments, and then also some of these projects that I would put into in terms of percentage. And if you look at this one right here, this is based on holdings. You can kind of see the allocation percentage right now. Bitcoin, of course, is on the big side. Ethereum comes in, but now you can get an opportunity soon to get Axie Infinity on here. Mana, which I can already buy within iTrust and start to hold this one, just did that. Polygon, same scenario. Engine, which I think is going to be a massive play into what we'll see in metaverse growth over the years. And that is really kind of just a quick rundown of some of the projects that I'm looking to hold in a crypto IRA. And those are the things that when you're trying to look at diversification, the one thing that's missing in this, and I think this is going to be coming, hopefully I can talk to the iTrust guys and help them on understanding which projects to get into, because there's a few here that I think would be perfect for this kind of scenario when you look at building out a portfolio. And it doesn't just stop right there with what's happening inside iTrust. Right now, if you look within other portfolios, I just want to show you the gaming and metaverse portfolios that probably would be excellent. I think Sandbox would be another one that I would add to my list. I do like Theta. I don't know if that one would be one that I would, and again, look at some of these numbers right now on the 7-day. Not bad considering we're in a down market. Engine right there, up 23% right now on the 7-day, which is in there. Here's Sushi Swap, which you can also get right now, running flat a little bit. Chromia is one that I'm interested in. I do like this project. This is one that I think I would put into a long-term IRA. And then let's go down here a little further because there's a couple others right here. Of course, Illuvium up 9% for the week. This one right here on gaming would be another one that I would really look at long-term and holding, mainly because I've just seen what Illuvium is planning to do in terms of a AAA game release. That in itself is going to be huge. And then you've got a couple others that I think could make the list. One, of course, Vulcan Forge. This thing's just insane right now, 54% on the week. This thing is really performing. And then UFO Gaming hitting at 34% on the week, 28% on the day. We just released this on our top metaverse projects to watch in a video we just did yesterday. And of course, all of these projects had already identified. UFO, I think, was number 2 on our list, right behind Sandbox. So again, big moves. And I think these are some great opportunities. The other one that I think would be a little bit of an outlier to watch, especially in a long-term hold, is these gaming guilds. And one of the premier gaming guilds that I do like is Yield Guild Games. And right here, they're holding at a 28% right now on the week, and you can get that one on YGG. So if I'm mixing these up and I'm starting to look at long-term plays, now I'm looking at a good mix of what do I want to throw into my crypto IRA to hold long-term. Because it used to be just Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum. You know, not that those are bad projects. Those are great projects to hold long-term. But if you really want to look at potentially trading inside of iTrust, because remember, you can do your own trading inside of iTrust itself. And it's pretty simple. Let me go over here and just kind of give you guys a quick rundown. So you can go get a simple setup. You fill out an application online, minutes you're in. Basically, you fund it. Now, you can do 3 different ways of funding your IRA. Pretty simple, though. I use the fiat method. It's the easiest one to ramp into. But it is, and they do a ton of how-to guides here, which I think are great on understanding how to use your account and really kind of learning. But I would just go in the route of USD, just fiat on-ramp, and then, of course, you add funds to your account, and then you can start your trading. But once you're inside that aspect of building on iTrust, now you can go in and actually start trading. And that is something that is interesting, because that's going to give you the ability to actually go in and trade in and out of some of these platforms. It's a 1% fee that you would pay for handling any of those trades. So let's say, for instance, you wanted to trade Mana. So let's say right now Mana's popping, it's doing great. You could go in, do a buy on Mana, then do a trade, take that cash, and then reposition it, reallocate it inside your crypto IRA. So that becomes almost like a trading account, and it becomes what I think could be more of a long-term metaverse play. And again, remember, you can always park cash back into major projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. So that's kind of how my strategy is designed to build wealth in an IRA through crypto assets. And the fun part of this to me is you get a chance to start to really dive into a lot of these other assets, because there are some big gains on these, just like I showed you here, just on the metaverse. I mean, these numbers are insane right here. With 13% on some of these, let's go take a look at where the top was, because this is one right here. Engine, which is on there, the 23%. And then, of course, Sandbox been up 30% when it's down. This was a great buy about a week and 10 days ago. Then you've got things like Mana, which is up 29, almost 30% again. This would have been another one that would be right there on the cusp of being able to. And of course, you can get Mana and engine right there in the iTrust account. So that's the benefit I think you have in being able to trade in and out of these projects, especially on the Metaverse side. I can't wait until they add more tokens to the list, because it's going to give me an ability to look at long-term plays, but yet at the same time be able to do some modifications to my investment and my retirement account that is really keeping up with what is trending, because Metaverse is the category that I think in 2022 continues to fly. All right, you guys are listening in over on the podcast. Make sure and give us some kudos over there. But listen, we've got a ton of Metaverse content coming to you every day, a lot of new project and token analysis. Also, don't forget to check out our CPI, which is our crypto power index. Just go over to paulbarron.network.com. You'll be able to find all that good stuff and join the Diamond Circle. It's simple and easy. Click the link below. If you want to get $100 in Bitcoin, though, don't forget, use our link below for iTrust, and you'll be able to get your $100 of Bitcoin when you use our link. So make sure and help us out on that. If you guys, of course, have any ideas for the show, drop them in the comments below or hit me up on Twitter @PaulBarron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.